Every successful student in the real estate course develops the ability to be able to read, understand, and identify what's important in the questions as they go through. Your ability to identify what's important and know where to start is going to be very helpful in you being successful on the test. So make sure you really take the time to read the question, get at the root at what the question's asking, and identify what's important. If you're able to do that, the rest of the math will fall into place. When doing the math, one of the things that students struggle with the most is knowing where to start. A formula I'm going to show you now, which we call the T formula, will give you a consistent place to put items as you try to work through some of the math problems. Now the T can't be used for every formula, but it can be used whenever we have three components. The first component would be the smaller number, which we would put on top. The second component is the larger number, which goes on the bottom left. And lastly, we have a percent or rate. There's nothing magic about the T except it gives you a consistent place to put things and it gives you rules to use each time. The way that the T works is if I have any two of the three numbers, I can figure out the third. For instance, if I have the smaller number and the percent or rate, I can figure out the larger number. All I have to do if I have a number on the top and a number on the bottom is to divide the top number by the bottom number. So in this case, I would divide the smaller number by the percent or rate, and that would equal the larger number. Again, anytime that I have a number on the top and a number on the bottom, all I need to do is divide the top by the bottom. So if I was missing the percent or rate, and I had the smaller number and the larger number, I could divide the smaller number by the larger number and come up with the percent or rate. Now if I have two numbers on the bottom, in other words I'm missing the top number or the smaller number, in order to find the smaller number, all I need to do is multiply the two bottom numbers. So I would multiply the larger number by the percent or rate, and that would give me the smaller number. This will become more apparent the more you use the T. It gives you a consistent place to put things. If you're very good at math, you don't have to use the T formula. But one of the things I think that you'll find is if you use the T formula, and also if you label the items, not smaller number, larger number, or percent or rate, but say label it as commission, sales price, net, any of the different items as you come through the problem, you're going to start seeing relationships. And if you start to see the relationships, that will help you figure out where to start when you're working on the math problems. Another skill you're going to need is to know how to figure out the area of a lot. The good news is for the test, all of our lots will be square, rectangular, or triangular. To figure out the area of a lot, which is typically measured in square feet, all we have to do is multiply the width times the depth, which equals the area. Again, the area is usually measured in square feet. Example, if my width is 50 feet and my depth is 100 feet, I multiply 50 times 100 and I come up with an area of 5,000 square feet. Now we can also use this to work backwards. If we know that the area of the lot is 5,000 square feet, and we're looking for the depth of the lot, all we need to do is take the area that we know, which is 5,000, and divide it by the one dimension we know, which is 50. So if we divide 5,000 by 50, we come up with our missing dimension, which is 100 feet. So the depth would equal 100 feet. If we have a triangle, we need to approach it a little bit differently. We take the width times the depth and divide that by 2. And that will give us the area. Example, if our width is 50 feet and our depth is 50 feet, we have 50 times 50, which gives us 2,500 square feet. But we have to remember that the triangle cuts this in half, so we need to take that and divide it by 2, which gives us 1,250 square feet.